Hello, Greg Merrick, yet again, with some World of Tanks and Siegfried Line. Our win chance in this battle is 45%, right around where you need to be to prove yourself. I'm driving my Type 58, basically the Russian T-3485, but with worse down traverse of the gun, and you don't have, there's not so much of a stock grind in a lot of these Chinese tanks. I'm platooned with my noob platoon with Golden Taco 18, truly legendary name, and Ammoheen, the terrible duo that I've decided to take under my wing and hopefully show how to become more victorious. My Golden Taco here is deciding to find out how low his rating can get at 84, a legendary number, and he's actually having some competition here with one of our Matildas with an 87. And on the enemy team, the most fantastic player they've got is somebody driving an M5 Stuart. But he is a fantastic player. Let's see how this pans out. Let's see if that Stuart can force a win for their team. RKV-1S also isn't too bad, the one that I'm not platooned with, but Golden Taco should even out that solid play with some solidly bad play. At this point, I'm just going to see how the battle begins to unfold before I make a decision. The Type 58 is a fairly solid tank, fairly quick tank. The additional engines, for a total of 27,000 experience points, only add 20 horsepower, so I'm 20 horsepower shy of some people who may have this tank. Just taking a quick peek to see if any of these fast, low-tier tanks zip through and want to get killed by me. No luck, though. Oh, there's that Stuart. I'm going to see if he was going to try to drive out wide out in the open, try to get himself killed early out of depression, but apparently he decided to stick with it. We've got the friendly Japanese Chinu. A lot of Asians in this part of town, me and him. Waiting for some tanks to show themselves. No luck so far. My platoon mates are not backing me up this time. I've got one of my Ammoheen in his German medium is a little bit further east, as is Golden Taco. I have a sight on this KV-1S. Now, if you wanted to see exactly what I was doing here, is I knew through this tiny little slit that with my accurate gun, and I'm closer to this little opening, that I can have a nice open view of him. But at his range, that slit is tiny, and his 122 millimeter gun is anything but accurate. So I'll take this all day long. He figures out that's a bad idea, and he backs away. What is he anyway? He's played some games. He knows how not to get killed in the first few minutes of the game. Oh, there's my not so happy face of being spotted. I'm sure one of the heavy tanks there, after I poked out, had spotted me. There is a 3-second delay associated with that. One of my favorite abilities, the first commander ability I put in every tank I have. There's no reason not to have it. This KV-1 is bitten off a little more than he could chew. I'm going to tell him to go ahead and stop pushing back, and I'm going to back him up. So all we've got is a little piddly KV-1 over here. Dangerous if I were out in the open, but I'm going to use the corpse of my fellow here to maximum effect. And I'll go ahead and pump some rounds into this KV-1. Tricky armor, even at my tier, this KV-1's armor is still tricky. Still have to get on the upper end of my penetration to be able to kill them. My KV-1, recognizing that we're a good little duo here, he decides to go ahead and push and let me continue to use him as a shield. Oh, a little misfire there. Must have been a little bit of lag where my reticle wasn't quite where I thought it was. Not quite as advertised. And in between the little Doctor Who phone booth and this truck, I'm getting some shots in this VK-3601. Even though he disappeared, I knew he was still there. Such a skilled player like that would know staying still was his best option after being shot. Now, I don't necessarily want to press on to the objective, but I'm thinking there might be some tank destroyers up here on this hill, and I also don't think at this time I quite realize that we're behind in tanks. having not spotted anything right away, I think I'm going to go ahead and roll back into town. There's no reason for me to abandon my fellows to flaming death just because I wanted to go sit on a cat. Oh, got some shots on this Tog. Now, I have a theory that Togs are a gift to the other team developed by Wargaming to reward patient players. Now, I'm going to be patient. This Tog has probably done no harm to any tank in its life, but I'm going to kill this Tog because he's got so many hit points. He's an experience points pool that I'm sipping from right now. Oh, there he is again. He's trying to hide. It's like Godzilla hiding behind a mailbox. It just doesn't work. Alright, evened it up here. They have 3 Tier 6 tanks remaining, and we have 5. We have the advantage. Now I'm at full health. I see this KV-1S. Figure he probably didn't see me coming. I'm going to go ahead and set myself up with a little bit of a side scrape. This is not the ideal tank to side scrape with because it's a frontal turret. It's better on back turrets or mid turrets. But the frontal turret, you can halfway get away with it. And I'm going to try to let this KV-1S track me. But he is not even aiming anywhere near me. I think he was trying to take out one of my fellows over here. Regardless, press on. Maybe he decided he didn't have any good shots on me due to my skillful side scraping. Alright, we've got a spot up. Somebody just took out their tank destroyer. There's not a whole lot left, considering these tanks could be hiding anywhere. I decided to press on towards Cap. Maybe one of them sitting on it. Who knows? The rest of my team pursues the other tanks as I come down here towards the objective. I'm trying to be cautious. I'm trying to look around, see if I have any spots come up. Nothing's coming up. And this game isn't quite ours entirely, so I'm going to go ahead and sit on Cap. Maybe I can make them come to me. I'm going to use this little bit of a sandbag fort here to hide behind. Hopefully I can spot through it. Hide the rather large rear end of my tank here. Either behind my frontal armor or behind this little sandbag. And I don't want to stay too still in case somebody's going to zoom in on a weak spot. These Matildas aren't known for their guns. I'm also being careful I don't actually back out of the cap circle. At this point it's just me and my friendly SU-100 and 2 enemy Tier 4 Matildas. Not the scariest tanks in the world, but I'm getting all these capture points here and who knows what they're doing. One of them's been sighted there in the south, and the other one hasn't been sighted yet at all. So, of course, as a heavily armored tank, you would find a place in the back of the map and hide and shoot. Now, although they have gotten some kills, so I guess you can't kick them too hard. Nearly done capping. I'll go ahead and pick it up. No reason to make these 30 seconds crawl any longer than they should. And that'll be it. I'm going to go ahead and finish this cap out. Of course, I'm just spinning. I'm getting dizzy just watching myself here. Okay, not too shabby. Not the most brilliant battle in the world, but it shows that, with a little bit of speed, a little bit of maneuverability, I'd come up over here, if you can see my cursor. I came over here from the east, engaged some enemies here on the east side of town, fired in at some enemies in the mid-town, circled back around to the hillside to make sure there weren't any tank destroyers back here aiming into town, which is a pretty common tactic in later tiers. But these tanks don't quite have the alpha, and they probably want to be involved in the city battles more so they can shoot more often. So I engaged some more enemies here in the north part of town, and then I went back in for the cap. There's no reason to chase down these Matildas when I can get all this juicy coin and experience by enjoying the cap circle all by my lonesome. Alright, well, this is Greg Merrick. Hope you like it. Maybe you learned something. Maybe I don't have much to teach. Either way, thanks for watching, and if you like it, subscribe. I'll see you next time.